J Ellis, you are 2-0.
Listen, I should be here every game.
Hey, J Ellis 2-0 as the Knicks win 113 to 112.
They won by 11 last year in Game 1 against the Pistons, too. Just check.
I'm like a rabbit foot over here.
They did lose Game 2.
I'm never washing this shirt.
Now, don't do that. You're going to give Erica Block ideas out here.
Ben Stiller
do
said
that.
Knicks in 5 to the camera. I like how everyone's being polite and giving the Hawks a game.
All right, here we go.
Gentleman sweet.
I gave him 2.
I gave him.
Because everyone knows, like, the Knicks, their team will mess around.
I feel like if anything, this game makes me just feel more good about my prediction.
I feel the same.
I feel the same.
I feel the same as even though I had Knicks in 6, I'm just like, yeah, let's see.
I still think I think the Hawks could win a game. Look, I think there's still a world where the Knicks could sweep this. But if the Knicks are going to sweep this, it's going to come down to what they do Tuesday. I want to see them a little pissed off about how they close this game.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see them a little bit pissed off about how they close this game.
Me too.
And I think if they are and say that there's definitely things they can improve on. It's a good start. They did what they needed to do. Bryan never thought – we all felt this way the whole thing. We didn't think the Hawks were in any way really threatening the Knicks in this game.
Nope.
And KAT, 19 points in the second half. You got to give credit. But this was just like the game in a way earlier in the month. KAT was great. We're going to get into all that. Mm-hmm. Let's reset for a little bit here. Game 1 of the first round playoff series between the Knicks and the Hawks. 113 to 102 is the victory for the New York Knicks. In this one, Dexter Henry, my guy Bryan Fonseca, my guy J Ellis of the Knick of Time Show, who was 2-0.
That's right.
Watching Knicks games in this chair. Mm-hmm. And, to be fair, J Ellis has never been here during the regular season. He's been here in the postseason. 2-0 in the postseason. This is the time you're supposed to get it done. And J Ellis has got it done here in the postseason. 113 to 102 victory for the Knicks. The Knicks get this done in the second half. They had a decent first half. They were up 4 at halftime. They end up winning by 11 in this one as Karl-Anthony Towns had himself a good game, good second half. 19 points in the second half, 25 overall. Jalen Brunson finishes with 28 points. OG Anunoby got those highly instrumental in this game, guys. 19 points as well. Josh Hart with a double-double that I did not bet on, still foolishly. 37 minutes for Josh Hart, by the way, Bryan. 37 minutes. We talked about Josh Hart's minutes. 37 tonight.
I mean, he played well, but
he did.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of minutes.
He took a couple falls as well, which Josh Hart has been prone to do.
10 points, 14 rebounds. All 5 Knicks starters in double figures. Mikal Bridges with 11 in this one. 5 of 9. Mikal Bridges, although this guy here told me to take Mikal Bridges 30+. And I'm glad I did not do that.
We forgot about him
whatsoever. Forgot about him, but he also did hit some big shots, too. Yeah. So we'll give him.
He was fine.
I thought Mikal, who had a good defensive game, all 5 Knicks starters in the positive in terms of plus and minus, led by OG at +9.
No surprise.
A team high plus in this game was actually a guy who we talked about their minutes, and we'll get to him off the bench. That's Miles McBride.
You say that like it's a surprise. He's been leading them in plus minus like all season, basically.
It's not a surprise. You wanted to cut his minutes, sir.
He wasn't playing well in the first half. In the second half, he actually hit a couple shots.
He did.
He's playing defense.
Defensively, he was fine in the first half.
He was. Plus 12 for Miles McBride in this one. 6 points, hit 2 threes. Looked better in the second half. He did not shoot the ball.
And I didn't want to cut his minutes. I said you don't need 20 minutes if he doesn't have it, but he had it in the second half.
21 minutes were fine.
We need to put things in context because, context because,
Landry Shamet, 17 minutes, 3 points off the bench, 1 of 6 shooting. Not a great day shooting ball for Landry Shamet. Also, we have Jordan Clarkson. I thought he was huge off the bench in this game. We will get to him. We will definitely talk about him. 8 points, 4 of 6 from the field. And Mitchell Robinson, 3 points, 4 boards. We saw a lot of Hacker Mitch in this one. Guys, what are your initial thoughts about this game and the Knicks picking up this win? Obviously, you always want to start a playoff series up 1-0, other than down 0-1. Knicks get the win. Jay Ellis, what did you think about what you saw in this Knicks win? What are your vibes? I know you feel good because you're 2-0 in the seat.
I feel good, man. I feel lucky. I feel great.
That's good. Do you feel good about this team and where they are heading into game 2?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was never really worried about the Hawks. I always thought the Knicks would best the Hawks and Knicks best the Hawks. I feel like we did really good to start the game. 2-man game was in effect between Brunson and KAT. It didn't really mean that KAT was scoring a bunch, but we got open shots for our wings. Brunson also did well, shooting well from the field. I felt like defensively it was touch and go in the first half. I feel like we really started off not playing well in the first half defensively, but the second half, for the most part, we really put their foot in their neck. So overall, I think we did well from the starters to a couple of the bench players, and I think the second game we'll do better. I feel like we'll tighten some screws.
All right, I hope we tighten some screws. Bryan, what's your grade for the Knicks for this game? If you had to give them a grade, Professor Bryan here, what's a grade you're giving the Knicks for their performance in Game 1?
B.
B feels right to me.
B feels right.
I feel like a B is fair.
B plus too generous.
Nah, it's
Yes.
they could have got a B plus. They could have got a B plus, but
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
that changed a little bit at the end. I would have been B.
It's weird because I
yeah.
never felt like they were in danger, and I'm somebody who's probably had more critiques of the team than you have this year at times.
More skepticism. Shit.
More skepticism. Yeah. We'll say that. More skepticism. You know, but entering the third quarter with the lead, they've been the best team in the NBA in fourth quarters. So entering the third quarter with a lead, or entering the fourth quarter with a lead, I was like, all right, like this is over. I was saying you can put in Pacome Dadier with a few minutes to go, and Tyler Kolek and stuff. And then the Hawks decided to take advantage of some of the Knicks' mishaps on the offensive and defensive end, as a matter of fact, and cash in and cut the lead down to like 8. So they ended up having to close with a lot of the starters anyway. But overall, 11-point win. You had an 11-point win in Game 1 last year under very different circumstances against
Very
the Pistons.
different, yes.
Because you actually had to come back and get that one. And honestly, you had to thank Campaign for that one. But in this effort, like I felt like they controlled it from start to finish. It was shaky at times. The defense wasn't perfect. It started off a little shaky, as J Ellis mentioned. It settled in the second quarter. Then in the third quarter, it really was their best defensive performance that we've seen as far as the quarter goes in a while. And then in the fourth, they got a little shaky toward the end, but whatever. And then offensively, up and down all night, it felt like. Karl-Anthony Towns particularly, who's been a focus during the show and during not just ours, but Amazon's as well. First half, third quarter, not great. Fourth quarter, outstanding. You know, and in the first quarter, he was fine too. But overall, like, there were some things that, as J Ellis mentioned, you want to clean up. Jalen Brunson missed 9 straight shots at one point after he got off to a hot start, didn't do much else after that. And he shot 40% for the game. That's something to watch because we said they were going to make him work, and they did. Throwing different combinations at him, and they did, as we said during the film study.
Want to say that again?
Yeah, listen. Some people were like, I'm not gonna rehash the whole bit at this point, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And Josh Hart also, last thing for me, the rebounding that I thought KAT was gonna do, Josh Hart did. 14 boards. Crashing the glass, in transition, setting up others, not just, scoring at the rim. He was big. So overall, playoff effort, they just look like the better, more experienced team.
Yeah, I think it's B feels like a fair grade. I like B. I think I would give them a B here in this. Let us know what's your grade for the Knicks in this game. Let us know in the chat. Also, hit that like button if you're watching too. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. We got some good people in the chat. My guy Antonio, shout out to him, is up in here. He says, "Go New York, go New York, go." Some love with the orange and blue. A lot of orange and blue hearts down in here. Someone said 1 down, 4 to go. You mean 1 down, 3 to go for the series? Not 4 to go, unless you want it to go
Unless
5.
you think it's Knicks in 5.
Right.
I guess with that.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring you. Just to let everybody know, stick with us. We're gonna also have Mike Brown when he gets to the presser.
Ooh.
Postgame presser. We're gonna have Mike Brown here, so we're gonna be able to listen to what Mike Brown says, react to that a little bit. Myself, J Ellis of the Knick Of Time Show, and my guy Bryan Fonseca. Valerie Ellis, is it related?
Hi, Mama.
Oh,
What's up, my dukes?
Oh, shout out to Mama Ellis in here.
That's what's up.
Mama Ellis, hashtag Knicks in 5. Mama Ellis got the memo. The Knicks in 5 number. Shout out to Mama Ellis.
Mama, that's no ball.
1 down, 3 to go, Miss Ellis. 1 down, 3 to go, Miss Ellis. That's what we're saying. We also have in here Dev Wheeler, 6289 says, Dex still think it's going to be a sweep. I agree. Oh, in the sweep. I didn't predict the sweep, just to be clear. I didn't pick that.
Gentleman's sweep.
I said gentleman's sweep.
You said gentleman's sweep.
If it's a sweep, I think that's dope. That's great. That's fine. I think that would be fantastic at all. Let us know what you think. What's your grade for the Knicks in this game? Bryan gave him a B. I agree. Did you say B? You said
I
B
also
too?
agree B.
Okay, so
Knicks are favored by 6.5 for game 2.
Six and a half
about
for
the
game
same. One more point.
One more point
after this one. So.
Yeah, listen. I think Knicks fans should feel good going to game 3. But before we get to Mike Brown, and I'd love to hear what he has to say about the team in his post-game presser. This KAT game is. We talked about it the whole game process.
Yes, we did.
It is a weird game. Is that the word you want to use to describe it in this one? Weird.
Weird.
He was 1 of 6 in the first half. J Ellis, you made the point at the top of the game.
I already
it
knew
was
it
a
was
great
coming.
one because you know what's coming from the people. Oh, KAT's not shooting enough. You were on it from the jump. Like,
Four turnovers in the first half, right?
Yeah.
4 turnovers in the first half. Only had 1 in the second half. Now, we talked about that at
turnover was
halftime.
bad, too.
It was a bad turnover.
But, there was more good than bad with KAT.
Yes.
There was definitely more good than bad.
But we talked about this at halftime.
Sure did.
And it's why you can't overreact sometimes. And we brought up the game at the top of the month against Atlanta. Last regular season meeting between 2 teams.
Not that long
KAT
ago.
did not have a good first half. Cleaned things up in the second half. Brunson did not have a good half. Was really good in the fourth quarter in that game. Brunson also didn't shoot the ball well, which also shows you.
He's really only good in the first quarter.
I'm also going to say it to the camera, like Bryan said here. We told you they would make them work defensively. We showed you the film, right? Not saying that Brunson didn't have a good game, but we showed y'all the film of how he could work.
And they're going to be like, oh, you only said Dyson Daniels is going to guard him. And
you should have watched the show, you fools who only watched the clip. You should have watched the show. Anyway, so, see what you made me do. Had to address some of that.
People are dumb, bro. Like, we've never had more information and we've never been dumber at the same time. Figure that one out. Anyway.
Can't say I disagree with that. Anyway, this KAT experience was an interesting one. He had a good second half. You got to give the man credit when that happens because he's sticking to the process. The Knicks they didn't run as much offense through him at the top of the hub in the key in the second half.
Fine.
They adjusted a little bit more, but other guys were able to step up, which is huge. But you got to give KAT. He was under control for the most part.
On one, too. Pointing at Onyeka Okongwu as well.
I like it.
Yelling at CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
Getting the crowd hype.
This is what you should want from KAT. He started off 1 of 6. He finished at 6 of 13. He's 3 or 4 from downtown. Okay? 10 of 10 from the free throw line.
Made 5 of his last 7 from the field, too.
Does he have blocks? I feel like I seen a couple blocks.
KAT
He had at least
3
one.
blocks.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
3, sir.
And I feel like I seen some steals too. My eyes is bad.
Steals, he had 1.
He had 5 fouls. Normally, you feel those fouls. Didn't feel like he had 5 fouls today.
And I think he had 1 on the offensive end. I felt for the most part he played fine.
Yeah.
He gave the Knicks the lift that he needed, particularly because of what Bryan said and the fact that Brunson did not play well offensively in the second half, and he stepped up when needed. This is what we've been asking. It's not about pounding the ball into KAT. It's not about playing through him all the time. It's trusting that he can play within the flow of the offense.
Right.
All right, we're going to keep this to grades. This is going to be the first time I'm handing out a lot of grades in this postgame.
You want to do for different players?
Yeah, let's grade some players here.
Okay.
What grade are you giving KAT? Because if I asked you to give him, we should have asked for the grade at halftime. Because if I asked you to give the grade at halftime,
Oh, God.
you might have been like, I'm giving him a C-. And I don't think that would have been crazy.
C's get degrees.
I'm gonna say a B+.
Tommy, our producer, tweeted out at halftime. I must have missed this when I was looking on Twitter X. He tweeted out, what grade do you give KAT for the first half? And the overwhelming response was an F.
An F?
Overwhelming response
This
was
is
an
why
F.
I said what I said, because I can feel the energy of everybody in Knicks Twitter grading stupidity, man. It's like they just see he didn't take a lot of
Tommy,
shots,
do me a favor.
and
Can
that's
you send me
it.
that tweet?
He's the pinata. He's the pinata.
Oh my
bro.
gosh,
He's the pinata. for
that-
this.
that is ridiculous.
I think F is a bit much in the first half. I could have said C. Even C minus.
Yes.
C felt like fair. He had the 3 assists. He had the 4 turnovers. He was 1 of 6 from the field.
But he got to the free.
He had hits. Got to the free throw line.
What about end of the game? Are you doing B also?
I'm doing for KAT.
Yeah.
I'm doing B+. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I got to give him a B+ game. He finished strong. I give him a B+
I think
game.
I agree, even though it feels wrong given the fouls and the turnovers, but it didn't feel like his turnovers are loud.
All right, that's a fair.
His fouls are loud.
These didn't feel that
They
way.
didn't. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They weren't as detrimental today. Like they weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't like that soul sucking in this instance. So
Right.
B+ feels kind of strong, but I also think it was pretty appropriate. He finished the game really, really well.
Yeah, I thought he finished strong. I think that's why I want to give B+. I could see if somebody wants to give him a B. and I'm not mad at that because you're like Dexter, you still have 5 turnovers.
Sure, yeah.
It's fine.
B's at 85 out of 100.
Maybe I'm saying, like, here's the thing. Maybe why I'm grading him up a little higher. He gave them what they needed to when they really needed
Read
it.
my mind,
When they
Dexter.
needed it. And we laud players for stepping up when you need them. Well, that man showed up.
That's you just read my mind, Dexter. That's exactly what I was about to say. Usually his fouls feel loud because the fouls happen in detrimental parts of the game.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're
Yes.
coming back. Oh, we need this bucket. Offensive foul. But this time it felt like, okay, the game is a little balanced. Where are we getting the points from? Trailer 3, head fake, going to the hole, and 1. I'm a bad motherfucker. Like, we see all that happen in a sequence where we were up like, 18 or 19 when we thought the game was over.
Yeah.
So to me, when it was happening is why I'm giving him the B+.
Yeah. I'm fine with the B+ for him. It is a weird B+.
Yeah.
This is like, I never taught, but I'm sure for people, if my
You
friends
can.
my friends
I mean,
who
you
are
kinda
teachers,
have.
kind of have.
You
But
kinda have.
For my friends who are teachers and stuff like the professors and stuff like that, somebody wrote a paper and maybe the story and what they did took you where it was a roller coaster. It went here,
Yeah.
but then they brought it back home.
Yeah.
This was bringing it back home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he landed the plane at the end of the game,
Yeah.
and that's what you need.
And then he had defensive stops in big moments.
Yo, that's the part that doesn't show up a lot in the box score. I know there's the 3 blocks. I thought KAT's defense tonight was very good. I thought it was very good, especially when he was attacked. You guys attacked him.
I would say
In space? In space and
Yes.
on drop coverage.
Yeah, it was an event.
Yeah.
CJ McCollum, made him look silly a couple
Yes.
different times. But when they went at him and not trying to just play with their handle in front of him, but actually took him to the basket,
Right.
Yeah.
I felt like he recovered well for the most part.
I thought he recovered well. Let us know in the chat too. We'll see if we put up a poll. We do have a poll for you guys about your grade. How do you grade the Knicks' performance in Game 1? This is a tight poll. 39% of the people are saying B, B-.
No
We have
Cs so far.
33% as a B+, no C's, and 28%
Comment
giving
if you
A.
think they deserve an F because you wanted them to win by 40 or something.
Yeah, and if you do that, I will say this right now, that's just ridiculous. Like, we can keep it real here. That's just ridiculous. Let us know your grades, what you think about for the Knicks in this game. Thank you for those who voted already. Okay, so we're on B+ for KAT.
Yeah.
KAT should get a lot because we've seen the KAT experience go different ways. We've all seen it. You just talked about it.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson. They are not here without the start that he had in this game. He did not finish so strong. The
did
captain
not,
did not
yeah.
finish so strong. Atlanta made him work, as we talked about. They have a lot of length they could send at him. You needed all the points you got from him early on.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. He still had a decent game as a floor general here today. He gave you 7 assists. He had 2 turnovers. He did have a steal.
If KAT's a B+, Jalen can't be higher than that.
Yeah, he's definitely not higher.
Because the first quarter was an A+. Everything else is well below that.
Yeah.
Like well below that.
I'm giving Jalen Brunson a B- here.
Yeah,
I can settle on that.
maybe.
Because
Shot 40%.
40%.
And missed
Yeah.
9 straight field goals.
Yeah. And
He also started off 8 of 11.
Yeah.
I
He finished
didn't-
9 of 22.
Yeah.
I know.
You know?
It's not good.
Now, was it killing them? No, not really. Because of
Of KAT's B+ performance.
Because in
Right.
part of KAT, also OG, what Josh Hart was doing, it makes me wonder, like, as the series progresses. So we talked about this, right? He came out firing, and another one of the many things we talked about with him is Atlanta trying to wear him down over the course of a series.
Right.
And not to say that they wore him down over the course of the game, but in throwing different looks, a lot of size, he has to work very hard in this series to get his points because there's not like an obvious matchup you want. Even CJ McCollum actually defended pretty well today, like relative to what you expect out of CJ McCollum, no disrespect. So all that being said, you have to ding him a little bit. Anything below B- probably feels harsh,
I think that's
though.
a bit
Yeah.
harsh.
So that's probably the line. That's still, if you're grading, that's still what, an 80. It's like, the paper started off really strong, and then by the end, you're like, the conclusion could have been better, but you did well enough.
What's your grade?
I was fighting between B and B-. I think I'm gonna lean towards B- too. because for the same reason why I gave KAT the B+, it was the bigger moments. Like I to him, Jalen Brunson, that's my favorite player. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Captain Clutch.
Should have wore the white jersey though.
Yeah, I should have worn white. I didn't get. Bryan didn't call me.
Brian did not give us the.
You have the white jersey?
No, I don't. But I would have got it if you called me.
You'd have picked it up on the
exactly
way.
on the way.
Picked it up on the
NBA
way.
store right there. You know?
Yeah.
So
That is true, actually. It is literally right over there.
NBA store is very close to the office.
Very,
There we go.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's the same. It's the same reason for me, where it's like the moments that we needed him to be Captain Clutch. What did you do? And I feel like the process in which he decided to take those shots wasn't a good process. I felt like the end of the last Atlanta Hawks Knicks game, it was a lot of two-man game with KAT and Brunson. We started out that way, and I felt like that's why we got a lot of good shots. And I felt like we went away from that and we went super ISO, and it led to 9 straight misses. Not because he was just off. If it was wide open shots and he missed them, that's different. But I felt like it was a little bit too forced. And the thing that the Hawks kind of gifted us is they trapped him. Because the thing with Jalen Brunson is when you trap him, he will make the right play when you trap him.
Yes.
Like it's the same play we see all the time. You trap Jalen Brunson, wing flashes to the middle of the floor, he passes the ball between 2 players, and then it offsets a chain reaction. We saw that at the end of the game. But if they would ISO Jalen Brunson and left it that way, I don't know if we would have got that. And that's the thing that I need Jalen Brunson to realize sometimes. You don't have the obvious mismatch like you said, but he needs to kind of work that 2-man game and pick his spots better with the mismatch, with the ISOing.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. All right, so we're all in agreement on Jalen Brunson here.
The defense got to get better too. Also,
I thought there was a couple possessions he defended really well. It's got to be better too, and they're going to try to attack him more.
Yeah. They missed some shots that they probably should have made in targeting him. Also,
Does anybody get an A in this game?
Shit, maybe Josh Hart. Honestly, the defense that he had in that, what was it, third or fourth quarter?
The third quarter was when Josh Hart had a great dig that led to a steal. And another steal on perimeter.
And he had another deflection too.
Right.
Forced multiple coast-to-coast opportunities. And on the glass overall, his energy. Yeah, Josh Hart might get an A, honestly. He's probably the one. Even though he didn't take a ton of threes, but, like, they weren't forcing him to do. Like, they didn't put, to J Ellis's point, they didn't put a Kongu on him. Where it's like, all right, Josh, you have to take this shot. Like, they weren't even put in that position. So he was allowed to, like, impact the game more as a result of that. He didn't have to focus on shooting a bunch.
Can I give another candidate for an A? OG Anunoby.
Sure.
19 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown, 5 of 6 from the line, 8 boards with a steal.
Yeah.
Those defense was good. I think he's the A for me.
Yeah.
I'm giving him an A.
Yeah. It's him and Josh. That's really it. That's it. They're at least.
I might give Josh an A-.
Yeah, sure. You can do that.
I'll
They're
give
the
OG
only
the
ones
A.
that are above B+, basically.
I agree. Yeah, I thought OG's defense was good. I thought he hit big-time shots. I thought he was great on the glass, too. I mean, the Knicks, overall, they won.
Rolled his ankle, came back.
Maybe I'm being harsh. I don't know. I feel like
harsh.
I feel like I'm giving Josh a B+. Like, only because of the defense. I feel like
You don't feel like he did enough offensively?
No, not even that. I feel like his defense was bad in the first half and stellar in the second half.
That's probably true.
Like
Yeah.
I feel
You know
like
what? Yeah.
I feel like there was a time where Josh Hart didn't close out on a 3-point shooter, and he was just looking at McCalvert just like, what are you doing? And it's like,
Oh, I remember that. That was
Dog, that
yeah,
was
I remember
you.
that. Yeah, I remember that.
there was another time where him and I think OG got tangled up in the corner and it ended up in a wide open layup. That was like minute 2 a game.
There was a mismatch that Jalen Johnson had on him and just missed, so it kind of bailed Josh Hart out. Yeah, that's probably true.
So I feel like defensively he was really shaky in the first half. In the second half, he was the reason why we went on a big run.
He's really good in transition, per usual.
He was.
He's finding guys in transition too, corner shooters, which they needed.
Yeah.
And Atlanta's been really good about limiting your corner threes down the stretch. The 5th fewest corner threes allowed after the All-Star break, and Josh Hart found a couple of them.
I think, though, Josh Hart is going to be tested in game 2. I wonder if they're going to try to Atlanta's going to switch up to try to make him shoot more threes.
Quinn Snyder's no dummy.
No.
They're going to adjust.
And I trust that, and I respect Quinn Snyder.
They're going to be limited in what they can adjust to which is what you're banking on if you're the Knicks. But they have other cards to pull for sure.
And I think one of the cards they want to pull is like, can we put Josh Hart in more situations where he's got to think about shooting the three? Because he really didn't have a lot. There's a couple he passed up, but he took one, he missed one. It was the only one that was above the break late there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. It was an irrelevant one, too.
It was an irrelevant one, too. It didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Now, you got to credit Josh Hart. He stayed aggressive. He played the game that was given to him. That's what you need from Josh Hart to be decisive.
Right.
You say giving him B+. I'll give him an A- because I thought he was so good on the glass. I think that's what's elevating it for me. I'm also pissed I didn't take that double-double, but it is what it is.
And the defense in the fourth quarter.
The defense in the second half was really good.
Yeah. Second half.
I will always give a little bit of higher marks for how you finish. I think the same way we're probably giving Brunson more demerits for how he finished. Yeah. I think that matters.
Although he got to the
too.
line, that's ultimately why I'm like, you at least got to give him like, you can't give him a C something, you know. He at least got to the line.
Yeah. I think giving Brunson anything less than a B- is harsh.
It's just like, and as an added bonus, they didn't need him down the stretch. Now,
Right.
if Atlanta was seriously like getting into that, if they didn't shoot 35% from three for the whole game or whatever it ended up being, they were actually at like 37, 38%, that changes things.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then they might be down, the Knicks might be down, I don't know, 109, 105 with 2:11 left. And then it's like, oh, well, they need Brunson or they need somebody. And then we're talking about something different. That could happen next game, and then we have to see how they navigate that.
I think it's a good sign, and this is something Bryan talked about when we were doing a show a couple weeks ago, J Ellis. I think it's a good sign when they win a game like this where Jalen Brunson did not have his best game.
I agree.
They want a Jalen Brunson B- game.
Yeah.
But to win those, you're going to have to win some of those games in the playoffs. To win those games, something that Bryan had talked about was and this is where fans were harping so much on this was Bryan's responding to, just to give you the context. When fans were harping so much on that, you got to run the offense through KAT. You got to dump the ball down into him in the post. Yeah, y'all sound like that. They were doing all that. Bryan was like, the thing that's most important is the rest of the guys have to do their job.
Right.
You saw Josh Hart do his job. You saw OG Anunoby do his job. And the guy I'm going to try to ask y'all for the grade now is Mikal Bridges. Even though he did disappear for a stretch.
Did he send in his paper?
What'd you say?
Was he in class today?
He was in class. He was not absent. Come on, man. He was in class.
He started
He
off
stepped out for an extended hall pass bathroom break, but he was in class. He was there.
Mikal is such a hard person to grade.
Yeah,
man.
I agree.
I don't even want to give him a grade.
You got to. You got to give him a grade.
He started well. His defense was alright, you know. Like I got to look through and look at the possessions again.
11 points, 5 9 from the field.
It's always easier to assess defense on a second.
I thought his
watch.
defense was good. I don't think it was great. It was good.
He got beat off the
Who was he
dribble a few
guarding? Who was he
times, but-
guarding?
He was
it was a
a mixed
mixture.
bag.
Yeah,
Mixed bag.
Yeah, it was a mixed
And so
bag.
that is
It was a little CJ, a little Nikhil.
and that's tough.
There was some Dyson.
Yeah,
even.
like
That's tough for him. I'm giving him.
He wasn't super impactful in the passing lanes.
I'm giving him a B-.
the moments I remember were like the first quarter, and then when OG Anunoby was out, and he was like, "We need somebody to step up," and he stepped up for like a good 2-3 minutes.
He had 2 shots.
He
He had 2
didn't
shots.
take a shot
Exactly.
for a long time.
But here's the thing. That's kind of baked in the grade. You already know that's happening.
Yeah.
This is part of the Mikal Bridges grading experience. Listen.
Strong intro, strong conclusion. The body of the paper is kind of like. Just,
Yeah, that's it. The body of the paper, you're like,
It's very short.
Yo.
I asked for 1,000 words. You gave me 800. You know, I like. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
The
Like-
middle didn't really have anything there. You
Yeah,
repeated some of the points in the beginning.
and strong.
I don't know what you were citing. You know, like that. This is
C plus is too low.
I don't.
It feels hard.
It feels harsh considering he didn't shoot.
Our
bad.
friend Chantel Shand. Shout out to Chantel. She'd
Love
give him
Chantel,
she'd
but-
give him a C+ right now. I know she would.
she will.
I know
Should go
ESPN
lower
would
than
give him
that.
a C- right now.
C- right now.
That's what we would give him.
We got Mike Brown.
Oh, what about Brittany Rosas?
Oh, hey.
Hey.
No.
All right, we
No, she ain't that
got
bad.
Mike Brown at the podium, guys. So we're gonna hit the Mike Brown. Listen to what he has to say. Let's go.
They brought a level of physicality to the game that you like, especially at this time of the year. I got to give our guys credit. One of the things we talked about doing was making sure we fought hard to keep them off the offensive glass, and our guys did a nice job of it. An Atlanta team that gets 8 offensive rebounds is a good deal for us. So trying to put bodies on bodies when that shot goes up is something that we have to continue. In transition, they shook free in the first half, and the way we charted, they had 18 fast break points, and we talked about it at halftime, and we did a little bit better job in the second half, up until the last couple of minutes when we gave up a couple of trail threes in the last 5 to 6 minutes. We did a nice job in the second half with our transition defense. We got to keep getting better there. Their small pick and roll also, is a problem, and our guys did a pretty good job of defending that the right way in the second half. It kind of got away from us early in the game, and they got some open looks from it, but our level of physicality without fouling was really good in the second half, as well as our communication with their small pick and roll. We got to get out. We got to run in transition, which we did a pretty good job of. We can do a better job of getting into our actions earlier. We got to get up the floor and getting into our actions earlier so that they don't. We're not going against a set defense all the time with the shot clock going down. We can crash a little bit better. We had 6 offensive rebounds that turned into 13 second chance points, so that was good, but we could probably come up with a few more. And again, you got to give Atlanta credit for what they were doing, boxing out. And then, we got lifts from different guys at different times, which is what the playoffs about. Everybody kind of stepped up and contributed. OG hit some big shots. Josh, 14 rebounds. It's awesome. Double-double. KAT, he hit some timely buckets for us. Mikal was great defensively. Jalen was good for us, especially early on when we needed to get going a little bit. And even Jordan Clarkson was good in his 11 and a half minutes off the bench. So good win by our guys.
Mike, you mentioned Jalen having it going early on. Just the way the game started, were you guys going back and forth? Just how important was it for him to come out and have the explosive quarter that he had to start the game?
It's big. He stepped up to the plate like he should have done, and he hit some big shots for us early to help us get out front. And anytime he gets going, it's always been a positive for us.
Coach, with that said, he only had 1 field goal in the final 3 quarters, and you guys still won. I mean, not totally easily, but fairly comfortably. I mean, what does that say about the rest of your group and kind of this matchup, that you don't need that spectacular performance from Jalen to win a game like this?
Well, we feel we have capable guys. We feel like the team is deep, and anybody can get going at any time. And I said that before, that for us it's about sacrificing and not worrying about shots, minutes, or anything like that. Just try to go do what you can to help the team win. And when you have a guy like that, not get as many shots as most people think, just keep trying to find ways to contribute. And he was good defensively. He was good boxing out. He was good commanding a double team because they sent the second guy at him quite a bit, and getting it out to his teammates and letting those guys make plays. And so it's something that we're going to face, the entire playoffs. And we just have to make sure we continue to be on point about it and try to attack them however we can.
Mike, what's your approach when Quinn goes to intentionally foul Mitch in that third quarter?
We'll see how the game goes, and we'll leave him in until we think we need to make a sub. And whenever we feel like we need to make a sub, we will. But we're gonna give him a chance.
Is that why you went to him early in the fourth quarter, because they're so far away from the bonus?
Yeah. Because if they want to start fouling, then that'll get us closer to the bonus, and so it's the time for us to go back to them. But, we feel, whoever phone this is, you need to do a better job of muting when you get a text. Because when you get a text, it interrupts the press conference. And people here don't like when the press conference gets interrupted. So I'd appreciate your help next time, whose ever phone this is. Thank you. I'm sorry, was there another question? Okay, no problem. You stand-up guy, I like it.
Mike, you've coached in more than 90 playoff games now. Just given what you said about this franchise and this building being iconic when you took the job, did tonight feel different or special, and if so, in what way?
Yeah, the first thing is it always feels special walking into MSG. You know, I pinch myself every time I walk in. The one thing that jumps out at me right away is when I walk to come see you guys. I don't get that cold breeze right now, so that's the biggest thing. You know, with the weather outside, so that's definitely enjoyable. But you can feel the energy of the fans. You can feel the energy of the building. You can feel the energy of the fans even outside. So it's definitely different.
Mike, you guys have OG and Mikal, two tremendous defenders who you guys brought in to do that. But you've been going with Josh on bigger wings towards the end of the season, and obviously again tonight. His job on Jalen Johnson was good, like it was a week ago. What did you like about just Josh's development on that end? His want to. It feels like he's certainly taken another level, another step in how just the pride he's been guarding with as of late too.
Yeah, Josh is very good of getting into the ball and trying to make the ball handler uncomfortable. And, you know, having Josh, having Mikal, having OG, they allow us to be versatile defensively. And you know, we'll match OG on Jalen sometimes. And we'll also put Josh there. And every once in a while we'll do Mikal. But what it allows us to do, and it's no secret, we did it in the last game, and we did it tonight, and they know it's coming. It allows us to switch pick and rolls if we want to between, you know, two guys that can give you a problem if they play pick and roll. So for us, having those guys more than anything else is the versatility that they bring to our team. But all three of them are really high-level defenders, and they embrace that side of the ball.
With the defense, you mentioned the physicality before. You guys kind of turned the game around in the third quarter with your defense. Is that what stands out to you most, the physicality or the transition defense?
Yeah, our transition defense was better. Our ability to defend their small pick and roll was better. And then our ability to keep them off the glass during that time was a lot better, and it allowed us to get out and run and attack them in transition. And so that's something that we have to do while communicating for as close to 48 minutes as possible, because Atlanta's a good team and they can hurt you in a lot of different ways if you're not present or in the moment every single possession.
Mike, it seemed like early on you didn't even know that Karl was on the floor offensively. He just kind of blended in with everything, and in the second half he kind of helped you blow the game open. Was it something that you saw? Was it just a mindset change for him to be more aggressive? What is that first half to second half conundrum sort of look like?
Well, a couple things. First one is, you know, he had, I think Jalen had the most shots in the first half, and I think KAT was next with 6. He was just 1 for 6 from the floor at the time, and I think 1 or 2 other people also had 6 shots. So, you know, we weren't a high volume amount of shots in that first half, but more than anything else, you know, the ball went in for him in the second half. But then in the first half, he facilitated a lot. You know, we played through him. He made some great passes for some easy buckets. And so we're just trying to mix it up for him. We want to put him in pick and roll situations so he can pick and pop and shoot the ball or take the ball off the dribble. And then we also want to put him at the elbow so he can play make for us because we feel like we move very well without the basketball. So you know, although he might not have had 10 shots in the first half, like I said, he was close with the second most, I think, or tied for the second most. It just didn't go in that first half. But he facilitated some easy buckets for us, and also he's got to be guarded so he could, you know, he's got to be guarded closely so he creates space for us at the top of the floor.
Mike, on KAT also, what do you think of his decision making in the game tonight? I mean, you mentioned kind of how he came out more in facilitation mode and then got into a more aggressive mode in the second half. What did you make of his actual decision making when he was in that earlier facilitating mode and then kind of reading differently later?
It was good. I mean, he missed on a couple of passes that he normally connects with, by overshooting the cutter. But, all those plays, the cutter was open, and so it's just a matter of him being more timely or on point with his passes. But we got to get some buckets, like that, so that it's not just straight pick and roll the entire game.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
I thought that was my phone going off.
All right, we hear there from Mike Brown, the head coach. So he had some good stuff to say there that I like. A lot of stuff that we already been talking about. He was just asked about the cutting. Then we talked about KAT, how he just missed guys. You're going to see more of that. They're not going to get away from that. I thought one of the interesting things that he said is, this is not official, but the coaching staff, they're charting. Atlanta had 18 fast break points in the first half. We talked about, we know how dangerous Atlanta could be because they play with a lot more pace than the Knicks do.
A lot of pace in the first
half. A lot of
half.
pace, right? Yeah, they're fifth in pace in the NBA, Knicks 25th. He said he thought it was better late in the game. I would agree with that because Atlanta did not get out the way they used to.
100%.
They weren't pushing. At one point, J Ellis has said it was early in the first half. He's like, damn, don't you know that they're looking for the trailer threes? This is what they do. Right. I remember you said that. Like, this is what they do. And he also said that he thought that the Hawks' small pick and roll game gave them issues, which I thought was interesting, and it did, particularly also, I would say, in the first half, until that third quarter where the Knicks cleaned some things up.
And they left some on the table, too, Atlanta did.
Agreed. This is what the playoffs is, though.
Yeah. Yep.
It's always going to be a chess match of this stuff. It's never going to be just one thing. You're making adjustments in the game. You're making adjustments game to game. That was one thing that stood out to me because I was really wanting to hear what Mike Brown said about the defense and how his team played. In terms of the hack-a-mitch, he says, look, we're going to see how the game goes, which I think we expected. I liked what he did today against the hack-a-mitch. I thought it was the right move. I thought it was the right. You called it. You said he should go small, go with OG. They did
you
that.
could do that in that series.
And
hack-a-mitch, I don't know what the results what the results will be in this series if Atlanta's not making the shots. Like, Atlanta still has to make threes if it's gonna matter. Like, a lot of them too.
It's not like, but when Boston does it, if you feel it more because they can make the threes.
And they have size, and they're proven. Atlanta doesn't have size, isn't really proven. Do they have enough shooters? They have shooters. Do they have enough shooters who are going to knock down shots consistently? They really needed Nickeil Alexander-Walker today. He was 6 of 17. And I felt like the Knicks could have guarded him better because he actually left some shots on the table that he probably would have otherwise made. But 17 shots for Nickeil Alexander-Walker is not something that's just going to go away. Like, he's going to keep doing that. And at some point, he'll cash in. So he said another thing that I found interesting was, and you just mentioned it, but we probably should note, like, KAT, he wants to use him at the elbow more to try because he likes the way the offense moves when he's there.
I do too.
Because Mike Brown, as we've talked about numerous times this year when we do these film breakdowns, he prioritizes movement. Like, he wants guys to be moving around. And if KAT is there at the elbow, then because you're not going to have KAT over there like sizing dude up, creating offense.
That's
like
not what you want.
Giving somebody a hezzy. Like, he's not doing that. But Mikhail's then going to curl around a screen. He can come get the handoff, or Brunson can, or somebody else is cutting around the basket or to the basket and going to the opposite corner. Like, there are a lot of different things you can do with KAT there. KAT just has to make the right play, and KAT has to make the right pass. And there were times today where he had the right look, but the pass was inaccurate. But I think that's something they can go back to in this series because I think you want to refine that a little bit for the Celtics series if you're looking ahead.
I agree. There's a world in this series where KAT could have had, this game. KAT could have had 3 more assists and a couple less turnovers.
That's a fact.
Had he hit those guys that sure should have been for scores. He made the right play, as Mike Brown said. He did not execute on the pass. He made the right read, I should say.
100%.
He did not execute on the pass, but I liked what he had to say there. As somebody and Bryan's been doing this too, and you've watched us too. We watched Mike Brown, these post-game pressers. This came to me as like, okay, yeah, my team did what they were supposed to do. They handled it. I thought his answer to the question, I think it was Stephen Bondi asked him about the team being able to get the job done. I don't remember if Stephen or Ian that asked him about the team being able to get the job done without Jalen Brunson shooting well in the second half. And, he's like, it said well, but he expects that of his guys. This is not like...
Right.
Mike Brown, you can tell for the way he's very measured in this post-game press, as he should. It's game one. It's one game.
Yeah.
pump the brakes.
He'd probably give them a B also, honestly.
Shit, he might give him a B minus.
Coaches are gonna.
He might give him a C plus.
Coaches are gonna be harder on their guy. You know what? He might give him a C plus too.
Yeah. He might grade tougher than we think.
He said KAT's
motivation.
He said KAT's buckets were timely also, which I think is
well.
The right
Jay, you speak on that because you spoke on that already.
Yeah,
we've seen the untimely.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We've seen the untimely KAT experience, and KAT's buckets were, and I think that's why I gave KAT the B plus.
Right.
Timely buckets matter, particularly in the playoffs.
Matter,
What stood out to you about what you heard from Mike Brown?
Everything you said, the adjustments that were made, the guard-to-guard screens that we ended up guarding correctly. The Josh Hart immediately popped in my mind when he talked about the guard-to-guard screens. Just being better in transition defense. A lot of things you guys mentioned. It's pretty much what really. Yeah, it's pretty much what really stuck out to me.
Listen, it's fine. It's what I expect from him for game one. I think he knows there's things they need to get better on. And that's why I would expect them to still have KAT in as that offensive hub guy to go through. They showed it a lot early. I was surprised we didn't see it a little bit more in the second half. I wonder if it's because some of the turnovers. But I think it's the word Bryan used, the R word, they're refine. I think they're going to refine. They're going to work on this. I know they don't have a lot of time between game one and game two to refine this, but I think it's something they can't go away from it because they got good looks on it. They just didn't execute. The movement was good. Hopefully they can get some other guys going. I'd like to see, can you get Mikal Bridges going a little bit? Mikal Bridges also, to be fair, Mikal Bridges left food on the table because he had a shot that should have been a layup and he faded away on it. Like that was that too. He left some food on the table. Didn't love that either. But
he always leaves.
I want to see the bench going more. Like, to me, I feel like our starters are going to be our starters. They know their roles. They know where their shots are going to come from. Like I said at the beginning of the game, this bench hasn't really been together for a long time. There was a time when Shannon was injured, then he was back, and then as soon as that happened, Deuce got injured, now he's back. And so now Jordan Clarkson is kind of like the scorer of the group now. So, like, that whole dynamic still really hasn't had a lot of time to get going. So, and even the shooters that we're used to seeing Deuce and Shannon be, like, we haven't really seen that at the end of the season. So, to me, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the offensive and the defensive punch coming together for the bench. And I think that's something that can carry us further because I still feel like we have another gear to go for the bench.
Yeah, I would agree with that with the bench. I'm encouraged. I was encouraged by what Clarkson did tonight in his minutes. I thought Clarkson was really good. I thought he had some big timely buckets as well too for this team. I thought that was good. I think the question I want to ask you guys, and also ask everybody. This is for everybody in the chat, and maybe we put up a question here as well too. All right, so the Knicks win this game. They take game one, 113-102. Does this win change in any way your prediction for the series? Does it change your prediction at all? Are you still the same? Are you any more encouraged? Are you inclined to shave off a game? Are you adding a game? Does this win that
y'all
you
ain't
saw
shaving
game
off
one?
a game? This is more of a me question because I had 6. Y'all got 5. I don't think y'all shaving off a game.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
You're gonna say sweep
going to
now?
7?
You don't know that.
You going to 7?
No, say go to sweep.
Adding a game.
Adding a game. I might. But I ask you the question. I'll answer the question. I ask you the question.
I'm not yet.
You're still giving the Hawks 2 wins.
It's game 1.
You give him 2 wins?
You did.
Admittedly, I said even before that, I was like, look, it's going to be a little hard to find both. Like, I could find one game real easily, and it'll probably be 2 or 3. From there, though, but we have to see. Because, again, they can shoot really well. They can take away corner threes. Knicks are fit. What do they end up with from a shooting standpoint? 48, so roughly 50% from the field and from 3 and from 2 also. Don't know if that's sustainable because we've seen the Knicks have games where they shoot like 30, 32% from 3 and the offense is clunky. Like, yeah, so it's a series, and if there's anything we know about this Knicks team, they ain't going to play the same way from night to night. So we're not going to get 19 first quarter Jalen Brunson points or whatever it was on Monday. They'll figure out maybe a different way to win, but night to night, it's not going to be the same thing. Quinn Snyder also, he's been here before. He's made playoff adjustments. He's been pretty good at it too. and I don't think Atlanta is going to shoot, what they shot. They ended up 38%, but some of those were like the BS threes at the end. They were like 35 when the game actually mattered. Though, I don't know if the Knicks are going to shoot 10% better, the entire series. So for now, I'm not moving off of.
So you're still saying Knicks is 6?
For now, yeah.
I don't believe they're shooting. I'm sorry. I know they're top 5 in 3-point percentage, and during the season, and it was even better in the second half. I don't believe it though, because.
But you don't believe in the numbers in the regular season?
I don't.
Or you don't believe that they will shoot as poorly as they did tonight?
I don't believe that their numbers in the regular season are going to translate to playoff tight and screwed. I've scouted you for 4-game basketball. I just don't. Dyson Daniels is Josh Hart times 30 when it comes to the 3-point shooting, which means I don't even have to guard. Did you see the air balls that was shot by Dyson Daniels?
Yeah.
That was atrocious.
He had 11 assists, by the way. I didn't even know that.
Because he has no choice but to do something else.
He's got to pass.
He's got to pass.
He's got to
the
do
ball.
something
He
on
had
offense.
4, 9, and 11. He had 4 points. We had 9 rebounds, 11 assists.
And then Jalen Johnson, he can shoot a 3 here and there, but it's you got to give him time to set his feet. He got to count. He got to lick his finger, check the wind. He got to do all that before he shoot the 3 for it to go in. So you got one guy you don't have to guard at all. The other guy who you kind of have to guard, but not really, can take your time. So now you got 3 guys who you have to really account for. And I just know from the Knicks not having 3-point shooters for 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons, when you have 2 guys on the floor who can't shoot worth a damn, it catches up with you. I remember Knicks Miami when all they had to do was shrivel the paint, and Gabe Brunson couldn't do nothing because Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett couldn't shoot worth a damn. Even with Julius Randle shooting good threes for a whole season.
That's a voice.
That's
a voice. That is a voice.
When the pressure is on and you haven't been in this situation before, that ball gets heavy. So I don't believe it. I just don't.
And Spo's game plan was we're going to let R.J. Barrett do what he wants and try to negate some of the other stuff. I remember that because he would fry Tyler Hero up every time and they wouldn't help. They'd just be like, yo, go ahead. We want someone to be overconfident and get these buckets.
So, but here's the thing, J Ellis. Because you're at a very different end than what Bryan is saying. If that's the case, would you shave a game off your prediction and make this a sweep? That's what we're asking here.
I'm still saying 5, but if it's 4, I wouldn't be shocked.
I still feel
like there's going to be.
I'd be shocked if it's 4.
Because I still feel like there's going to be a game in the Hawks with the home crowd is there, everybody feels good, and Alexander Walker's
Magic
like,
City
woo,
night.
he's gonna be throwing up. Exactly, Magic City night is gonna be free wings for everybody.
It could also be again, we talked about KAT, we gave him a lot of credit. There could be a devastating KAT game in this series that we've seen before. It's 12 points, 4 of 11, 6 turnovers. These things can happen over. We've watched too much playoff basketball to say, hey, we saw one game, this is over. You know what I mean? This is how every game is going to go from here on out, especially with this team, given how inconsistent they've been. I still think they're going to win the series, to be clear. This hasn't changed anything for me. It's basically where I'm at. I went in with 6. I leave with 6. We can talk after the second game if I still feel that way. I probably wouldn't change my mind until, if it's 3-0 at that point, then I'm like, all right, I have no choice. Then, I'm probably not shaving off a game for a while.
I think this is a game where you can feel decent about. I'm also not going to shave off a game, but I was.
You have 5.
Yeah, I was thinking about it though.
Oh my God!
Thinking about it. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about saying it with my chest.
He was trying to lead. He was trying to lead me. He like, if J Ellis jump, I'm jumping. If J Ellis jump, I'm jumping.
I'm the one asking the question. If I think I probably feel more inclined to shave a game off if they close strongly tonight.
Would you add a game because they closed not strongly tonight? Okay.
Nah, because
just temperature checking.
Yeah. No, you have to. I think no because we get Jalen Brunson at the podium.
Yeah.
Here now. Yeah, let's cut to that. Well, I'll come back. I'll share my thoughts on that and why I might shave off the game. Jalen Brunson is at the podium now. Let's take a listen to him.
Jalen, what did you make of the performance overall from the group?
I thought it was a hard-fought win. It was physical. It was was a grinded out game. I think we had a run. We had like a between the 7 to like 11 lead for a majority of the second half, and then be able to push it to like 16, 18, and then just didn't finish the fourth as well as I would like, as well as we would like. But we know that they're going to be ready for game 2. So quick turnaround and just refocus.
Jalen, what did you make of the way the first quarter played out, and I guess what did the defense show you that I guess showed you that you needed to take over in the opening period?
I just ball was going in. Cam made a great pass for me to get a layup off the curl of him, and then just found the rhythm.
That was the only one.
Yeah.
That was for sure the only one. Threw 3 of them to the court side.
Yeah, with that said, after that first quarter, you only had 1 field goal. And what does it say about that that this team can pull out a win like this when you're not having your best offensive game?
Yeah, it's really important. No, you never know what's going to happen. There's going to be highs and lows of a season, highs and lows of a game, and be able to fight through and still find a way to impact is very important for us, especially at this point in the season. So no matter what, you got to think positive, you got to be positive, and fight through anything.
Karl, the first half you kind of came out in facilitator mode, looked like you were trying to find cutters from the elbow, that kind of stuff, and you're much more aggressive looking for your shot in the second half. Was that you reading the defense? Did you feel like you were operating differently?
Yeah, just, I wanted to know, they had a week of practice to see what their game plan was, and also, too, seeing the pressure, I wanted to, you got someone like him and you got the amazing teammates we got, I want to make sure, get them going early and facilitate, and I thought that it was going to open the game up for us, especially in the second half, and we just we did a great job as a team just fighting and continue to find ways to score and also impact winning. Oh, man, it's awesome. It's awesome to see him back at games. It's, with everything that went on and everything, it's just good to be seeing him walking around and enjoying Knicks basketball.
Hi, Jalen. Hi, Kat. Today's a big game for you guys. A lot of guys jumped in, both of you guys, also OG and Josh. How do you think the team as a whole is very connected, and how do you think that the assets of being resilient brings you further into the series and brings you an advantage?
Well, we got an amazing team. We got an amazing team that not only the starting 5, but everyone on the team could impact winning and could go out there and do an amazing job. So just us continue to each other and us going out there as a team and winning as a team is the most important thing.
Karl, for either one of you, honestly, whoever knows the other one and answer. Late in the third quarter, there was a pick and roll play where Jalen threw it behind the back pass to you, and you go slam it at the rim. It felt like it was becoming second instinct for you guys. Can you talk about the development of your connection, especially in that PNR?
I did that.
I said this before, but the longer we're on the court together, our chemistry is better. I think we've grown as teammates, we've grown as friends, and it's contributing to the way we're playing.
I'm not at the Josh level yet, but we working.
Josh is not a friend. Please don't. Please don't.
Jalen, a little off topic here. 4 years ago, to the day, you scored 41 with Dallas against Utah. I talked to Jordan Clarkson about that, and he said something I can't say because there's cameras, but he also said that he thought it was your coming out party. You've always been a kind of guy who's believed in himself, but what did that game do for you as a player?
Can you just ask the last part again? Sorry.
What did that game do for you as a player going forward in your NBA career? Mentally.
I think it did a lot, but I think most importantly, everyone sees that, and but the first couple of years before that, it was just chipping away, working every day. You work on your game to try and be the best, most complete player you can be. But when you're out there on the court, you got to perfect the role that you're asked to. And so every day I was working my game. In the summertime, just getting better, doing all that stuff, and then when an opportunity like that comes around, there's no need to get ready when you're staying ready. And so it's crazy. It's been 4 years since that. Very thankful for the opportunity from them, my teammates, J Kid, Mark. I owe them a lot.
Hi, Karl. This is Simone Wu from A Sports Connect Hong Kong. Congrats on the win. Mr. Cowtown's senior is back on the court tonight. How important is for him to, and you play with lots of passions in the fourth quarter as well, how important is it for him to have him on the court during these moments?
I mean, to have someone who is, I would say, is the most important person in my life is, it's really awesome to be able to have him back in Madison Square Garden supporting me. And, I feel like any son out there who plays basketball or plays any sport, when you get to see your father there at your competition, you always have a sense of pride and you want to make him proud. So it's awesome that I get to, see him on the baseline and be able to have some special moments with him.
It was good to say hello to him, yes. It seemed like the first 8 minutes of that game, it was going to be like a 130, 120 game. And then really the last 40 was a totally different game.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like you're built to win either way at this point?
Yes.
Someday I'm going to get a two-word answer from you.
Yes, sir.
There we go. That's good. There we go.
Hi, Jalen and Karl. It's kind of cliche, but what kind of new messages you guys want to share to the New York's fans in the MSG and outside of the MSG in the streets, like plenty of guys over there?
Honestly, continue to be there for us. The energy that it's unmatched. This time, every year, it's electric, not just in this building but around the city. It's an unreal energy that I wish a lot of people can experience, and it's truly special.
Last question.
Basketball is a physical sport. You both received blows below the belt today. Did CJ say anything to you, Jalen, and then Karl? Not quite sure, but I noticed you got a blow there as well, and was there any conversation after that?
No conversation was really had. I'm glad, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't purposeful, so we move forward.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, we are back. I did not have that on my bingo card. There was somebody who was going to ask KAT and Brunson about how they felt getting kicked in the nuts. It doesn't feel good.
I mean, shout out to the reporter.
Shout out.
But
I
Brunson
did not,
said it wasn't intentional.
It was not intentional. Shout out to everybody who's still watching with us in the chat. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Laggy family, I see you in there with the blue and orange hearts. I like it there. What'd you think about what you heard from Brunson and KAT? I had one thing that stuck out to me.
Yeah, let's
and I think we should get into it. I want to get into this with context.
It's the only thing worth it from that.
It was Brunson answered this, and he was asked about what it meant in the way they were able to win this game.
Yeah.
In a game in which it looked like it was going to be a high-scoring game, and it wasn't a high-scoring game. Well, someone asked him about that, and if he could only play one way, and Brunson answered that appropriately, which is, no, we can't play more than, we can always play more than one way. What do you think?
Just said yes.
But he talked about the chemistry, and Brunson said the longer we are on the court, the better we are. We have grown as teammates and grown as friends. And
Except for Josh Hart.
Except for Josh Hart.
Josh Hart's not his friend.
His roommate's podcast, not his friend, which was just hilarious. I bring this up because there was a lot made about this on social media earlier today, and Danny Green, three-time NBA champ, Long Island native, who won a title with
once a front runner for Finals MVP. Yes. At like a few games into that series against the Cavs.
Against the Cavs, that is true. He said he predicted the Knicks would win the Eastern Conference. He backed off of his prediction because of rumblings of a fractured team. And then our Stephen Bondi had tweeted out, here's what Green said in the media conference call yesterday with ESPN, which reporters usually hop on before playoff series. And he said, simply because the fact that the Knicks this year, especially late in the season, they looked very up and down. They looked like they were disconnected. The chemistry wasn't there. There are rumblings about some guys don't like Mike Brown or work with the coaches. There are rumblings that some guys are feeling they're not getting touches or there's overusage of Jalen Brunson. That seems to me like a team that could self-implode. Now, this came out, and of course, Knicks Twitter was going to do what Knicks Twitter was going to do. And a lot of people overreact. And a lot of it, I think, is tied into the word disgruntled here. And that's going to get a lot of reaction. Fractured. Fractured.
Yeah.
And I'm going to regurgitate what I said. I quote tweeted this on Twitter. And I said, look, there's always rumblings about every NBA team. And teams are going to have adversity in the season, especially when there's been change. It's simple for me here. Either the team rises to the occasion and handles the adversity, or they don't. Basically what I'm saying is it comes down to winning in the playoffs.
I had a similar,
I don't think this is much to do about nothing. I know there's people around the team. We've heard rumblings. People didn't like this. When there's change of jobs, sometimes there's rumbling. This is the thing I ask people all the time. And you know I always bring it to employment. Because sports and working on a team is a job.
Yeah.
It is that. And I think sometimes we don't look at it like that. And that's a huge part of the problem.
Because people care too much.
Has anybody
Fans care too much.
Yeah. Has anybody ever worked someplace and there's been massive changes? I once worked at a company, station, where the person I hired brought me in, and 2 months later, they revamped the whole staff. And everything changed about the job. And you know what there was?
I was there for that one.
You know what there was?
I remember that.
There were rumblings. There were people who weren't happy with their role. There were people who didn't like this or like that. This stuff happens. But you know what people got to do at the end of the day? Do your job.
To be fair, I don't think you want to compare this to that situation.
No.
Given the outcome.
No. Not exactly.
We'll leave that there.
If you know, you know. Not exactly. However, I'll tell you about that.
If you've been following us for years,
you might know some things. If you follow me and Bryan for years and our podcast recently, you know some things about that. But what I'm saying is this stuff happens.
Yeah, especially in the NBA.
Yeah,
especially in the NBA.
So I think people have blown it up, and I don't think that Jalen Brunson's comments here, specifically they were. I think they were very much there. I think that. Do I think there's times that guys on this? Yes, I do think it was calculated. Do I think there was times that guys on this team this season, and I'm being very specific what I'm saying here, particularly after January, that 2-9 stretch. Do I think we know there was a meeting
or during
it? Do you think there were some guys that said, "Yo, you need to do this better. You need to be better at this," and guys that might have aired grievances?
It better have been.
I don't like. Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's
great
part
point.
of the process.
It's a great point.
What do you want to have? You want everybody to be kumbaya and put their arms around everybody when things are not going well?
Or do you want problems to linger and not address them?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Rumblings, these things happen. Disagreements, not being happy with the process. We have to remember there was change. There's a new coach. If you thought this was just going to be smooth sailing, you've never worked. I got a question if you worked in anything before.
Yeah.
Have you worked in any place before there's been change? Right? And some of y'all, somebody might not like Mike Brown. Some people don't like their bosses. I've worked places where I haven't liked my bosses. This is not new. Not saying that now. Just to be clear. I've worked places where this has happened. And so you can't be, people disconnect that and it kind of frustrates me. And so I don't think Jalen Brunson is putting on face here and lying when he's saying we have team and chemistry. And this is the quote. We have grown as teammates. That's what you want, people.
Yeah.
Also, what do you think Jalen Brunson's going to say? We hate each other's guts here. Now we're in the playoffs and we're trying to win 16 games.
Yeah.
No, he's not saying that.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying as a fan you should not be concerned. And Bryan and I were texting a little bit about this today on my way here. But we kind of are on the same point as this. I'm just saying that sometimes this is part of the process. Guys may be uncomfortable with something. They might not like the coach. They might not like that he's telling them to do something better or new or makes them uncomfortable.
Or they don't like the scheme, as Brandon Ingram said today in a post-game press conference. I don't know if you saw that one.
I did not see that.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about the lack of touches that he apparently got down the stretch.
You know when you don't want to hear that? Game 1 in the playoffs. The fact that there was disgruntledness or something was fractured throughout the year.
We'll find it.
If they're fine now, that's fine. I think you used the word, you said it was calculated. I think Jalen Brunson's comments were a little bit calculated here.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm sure he's aware of what came out there. I'm sure he's aware of what Danny Green said in the rumblings. And I'm also not saying that what Danny Green heard is not true. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm saying these things happen. This happens with every NBA team. There's rumblings about every NBA team.
See, here's the difference, right? So Brandon Ingram on only taking one shot in the second half, because this is how this could have went, and this is already making the rounds on Twitter, as you would expect. Well, coach wanted to use me as a screener. Also, he noticed that my man wasn't coming off me, so he wanted me outside of the action and being a receiver. At the end of the day, me shooting 9 shots is not going to win basketball games. He said that after they lost by whatever they lost by. It could have been 20. It wasn't as bad, but
all I'm gonna say is that, folks, happened after game 1. That is someone directly calling out the coach. I'm not saying Toronto has a locker room problem. I'm saying they, at a minimum, they have a Brandon Ingram and coach problem. And we also been seeing what's been going on down in Orlando with Jamal Mosley and crew, and they got into the playoffs. So if everybody wants to say the Knicks are fractured, I haven't seen it fall apart.
Right.
I'm not saying it's all together and it's beautiful, it's peaches and cream. I'm not saying that. But teams go through stuff all the time on their road to a championship.
Yeah.
And this is another thing. Everybody thinks everybody's going to be, everybody's got, okay, I've said this before in the show. It's not about everybody liking each other or thinking they like each other all the time. Some of y'all don't like people in your family all the time. I don't.
I say that every year.
Come on. You know, we've seen this. And and so that, when Brunson says that, my eyebrow raised. And we all did here.
Yeah.
Because we heard the comments.
And because he don't be saying shit.
No.
And this time he actually says something.
And when he says, I took the notes on it. The longer we are on the court together, the better we are. We have grown as teammates and grown as friends.
Yeah.
Except for Josh.
And again, like, the alternative is, you know, he's not gonna kick anyone's back in.
I'll let you guys talk. Last thing I'm gonna say is, as somebody who's been in the locker room tons of times this season, I've not seen a locker room where it's like, win or lose, guys are like, yo, I'm just getting out of here. I ain't talking to nobody. We're not talking. It's not that. It's quite the opposite. Even I've been in the locker room during that 2-9 stretch. After that 2-9 stretch, before the 2-9 stretch. So I've seen the changes. Were guys disappointed when they lost? I was in the locker room on Martin Luther King Day after the Mavericks game. Down locker room. Down as I saw the Knicks this season. Okay? And then I was there the next game when they blew out the Nets. What did it be? By 54, 56 points. I was there the next game. Guys were still talking to each other. Were guys happy about losing? No. Because who is? Who wants to lose?
Right.
You think people are happy when they're losing? You don't. I would hope things got fractured when you lost. That's what I would hope happens. It's not about things being fractured. It's about how you bring it back together. And ultimately coming back together is going to come down to whether you win or lose in the playoffs. If they're fractured and they fall apart in the second round, there will be changes.
That's the key. It's like, ultimately with this season, it was always going to come down to now. It was always going to come down to the playoffs. For all the overreactions during the regular season, all anybody was going to care about is right now.
Facts.
So if they get to the finals, this won't mean anything. This fracture or whatever it wants to be called by Danny Green or whoever else. If they get to win the championship, it's definitely not going to mean anything. But if they lose in the second round, if they lose in the conference finals, if they lose in embarrassing fashion in either of those series, then this stuff is going to come back up. We're going to get long pieces. Now they tell us stories about, hey, this is what happened in January. There was this argument after this game. These two didn't want to hang out. These two cut each other off for a month. Like, you're going to start hearing things like that if they in fact happen, if they did. But that's what's going to be the case. It's like, if you just win, this stuff will go away.
Facts.
If you lose, then that's when it'll come to light. Because people will start talking, they'll talk to agents, they'll leak it out to whomever, or their mans tell somebody. Like, that's just how this works. So, to me, for now, it is what it is. It's not something super abnormal from what you would see on other NBA teams. These guys are around each other all the time for months on end. They're gonna get sick of each other occasionally. You go on your losing streaks, you have your winning streaks. Like, it's just part of the game. It's not something that we haven't seen before. Now, if they do lose, some more reporting comes out, some more stuff gets leaked, this person's side, and people are trying to play, the business game because they want to angle to go somewhere else and do that. Right.
Yes.
Then we can have a conversation about that. But for now, they won game one, and it kind of is what it is at this point.
I agree. How you feel about all this?
Listen, man, Shaq and Kobe won a ring, and they ain't hated each other.
Now, they are Shaq and Kobe, but I hear you.
But I'm just saying, it's like
You don't have to like each other.
You don't have to like each other, but you still got to work together. And sometimes, some people can balance it too. They can be like, I don't like this person, but I can still work with this person to meet the common goal.
Yeah.
And they were able to do that. Now, am I saying Knicks players hate each other? No, I'm not saying that. But it doesn't have to be perfect to win. And whenever you have 10, 15 different personalities in one room, you're bound to have a disagreement, an argument, a different point of view. It's just life. You just go. It doesn't matter where you are. You put more than 3 people in a certain room for a long period of time, might happen, most likely. So it's like, I don't look at this in any weird way. It was no red flag for me. I've seen so many stories about this person's fractured, this person is mad, and it ends up being nothing. So I'm treating this like another day in the office. This is another BS bullshit story.
It's kind of, it's a
J Ellis, remember he curse.
You censored yourself, and then you're like, I can do that. Yeah, it's kind of, it's a nothing burger for me. I also would like to add, and I feel bad because I don't want to accuse Danny Green of this because I'm not saying that.
Yeah, by the way, we should, I don't think he's making that up.
No, I don't think it's coming out of nowhere.
I'm sure he heard it. It's
I
just,
do believe that.
Well, when you're doing reporting, you could hear things late. You could hear things from people who have an agenda.
Yep.
You could hear things from people who are sensationalists.
Yep.
Or you could just hear things accurately, and maybe this is something that's recent. He presented it as if it's recent, but
he presented it as if it changed his prediction. Right?
Yeah. And Danny Green is not, like, no disrespect, you'll get what I'm saying though. He's not a sensationalist. I won't even name somebody.
Yeah.
But like, he's not somebody who's gonna get on air. Like, he actually wants to do media. You know what I mean? Like, he has a podcast.
And I think he's good at it.
He has a show.
He does what our guy Harrison.
Yeah. So like, like I don't take it that lightly is what I would say. Like, there are certain other people in media, former athletes, where I'm just kind of like, all right, bro, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Danny Green, I wouldn't say that he's trying to just out here stirring the pot.
I think some people are going to feel that. I don't feel like this is, as our man Jeff Johnson would say, the Knicks for Clicks industrial complex. I don't feel like this is
Someone
that.
accused us of that on Instagram also, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Were they right, though?
What?
I'm playing.
No. What I will say to that is, we don't do that here.
I know.
I know you know that. I'm messing with you. And listen, if you want to do that, there are places you can go for that. You don't do that on your show.
No.
We don't do that here. And listen, here's what I'll say. Does it mean that what Danny Green heard, is there any truth to that? Have I heard some things around conversations and things at times for this? Yeah.
Oh, we both have.
I have.
Now, admittedly, anything this month? No.
No, I haven't heard anything recently.
No.
I'm talking back to the time when things were not good in January.
Yeah.
That's when I heard things.
That makes sense.
From people who I know. I know people who know and trust and work on the team and report on the team that heard similar things. They're not reporting it. Now, sometimes not reporting stuff is exactly what Bryan says. It's because business is what we do. Sometimes you got to hold things for the right time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes you don't have enough.
Sometimes
Go ahead. Talk. You got to talk.
No, I just feel, I'm not saying Danny Green has done this, but I feel like I know when they're holding information for the largest impact. And it drives me crazy. And I feel like there was one news with KAT during the whole trade scenario thing that they held right until like the trade deadline. It was like, I forgot exactly what the news was.
Yeah, he was bothered. There was a report that came out from Shams Charania that he was bothered by the trade talks and it was impacting his play. And I remember that. It came
he did play better after the deadline.
But here's the thing. You know what?
People talk to Shams.
You know what I took? You know what I took from that? I remember when that came out, and I remember seeing Knicks fans on Twitter react to it, and I was like, well, if your life was going to be uprooted and you could be traded, you don't think it would impact your performance too?
Right.
Like, I think we have this robotic way of thinking that everybody's supposed to be a professional and go out
because
there.
People don't have, because people don't have relationships with athletes. Like their relationship with the athlete is like, yo, just make me happy. So they don't look at athletes as people.
Exactly.
They don't look at athletes like, yo, you have feelings, even though because they're rich. They just think that they should just be robotic. It's like, yo, you have money. Who cares? Like, make me happy. Win for my team that I've always loved or whatever. And it's like, no, like athletes don't. They're not robots.
If me, New Yorker, I'm here. I'm born here. I got my wife. I got my kids. We set up. Bow.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm having fun. Jalen Brunson's passed me, or not passing the ball, however you want to flip it, right? All of a sudden, in the summertime comes, they go, hey, I'm gonna have to pick up and move to Milwaukee?
Yeah.
What's in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
I moved with my other Dominican friends. I'm chilling. I'm eating restaurants. You want me to go to Milwaukee? I'm
That'll mess me up too.
I'm gonna be upset. What's in Milwaukee?
And you were on a contender, and now you're in a rebuild.
Yeah, like.
And you're probably gonna get rerouted.
Now,
like you might end up somewhere after that.
Somebody's gonna listen to this and hear us or watch this and say they're gonna use the Don Draper line from Mad Men and be like, "That's what the money's for." And like, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you have to put the people stuff in this.
Yeah.
And this is what I go back to this is why I always use the analogy of, okay, if you want to critique this about this sports team, you have to look at it as work in your job.
Right.
Okay? It's still work, and work still impacts people. We can talk about all the analytic stuff we want, all this, and we do this. We analyze stuff in the game. There's still people here. There's still feelings that matter. Yeah, as you said, 10 or 15 people, you put them in a group, there's going to be some times where people don't like each other, around each other all the time. People beef it. I'm not a religious person, and people beef at church.
Yeah.
Okay? I've seen it. Yeah. Okay? I've seen it.
By the way, 15 people, but also
I grew up in church.
15 people also
the worst in there.
15 people also staffers, coaches, the people around the 15 people, because everybody has like a inner circle, a group that they rely on.
We are there as media in the locker room daily, talking to them, asking them questions. Why'd you make Yo, I'm not making excuses. At the end of the day, athletes have to perform. I also like to say athletes have agency, players have agency. But you got to go and do it, and we understand that. But to act like it's crazy, that it's not crazy that KAT was like, I feel some kind of way that my name is come up in trade talks. I would too, and you make a great point. I would feel some kind of way if I had to do this job and they told me to go to Milwaukee. So imagine KAT. Okay? Like, that would make me feel some kind of way. And I've been to Milwaukee. So, there's nothing there. So,
I assumed.
Yeah. Like, I understand that. And so I think we can have these conversations to talk about these things and look at it with understanding. But with all that being said, that was the most interesting quote Jalen Brunson said. And I agree with Bryan. Jalen Brunson, I love Jalen Brunson. Doesn't always say a lot to you there. But
I think that's also calculated to use J Ellis. I mean, he don't be trying to say shit because he wants to stay out of the.
No, he's on the Derek Jeter program.
Yeah.
You know, this is what it is.
On the court, well, in the media room, not necessarily.
Off the field.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
There's one other thing I noticed. I couldn't quite hear, but I feel like I heard something interesting that KAT said. Was about the timing of when he takes over games. I feel like he mentioned that they intentionally try to get everybody else going first before he starts getting going.
I thought he was
to give them space in the second half to go to work.
He was talking about it specifically in this game. I think he was talking specifically in this game, and that is what happened.
I hope so.
But I think
that's not something you should try to do every game.
Right. I think KAT
got to win in different ways.
I think what has to happen for him, and I think the stuff was real about him being frustrated in things in the offense because change is frustrating sometimes.
Right.
Just to bring it back to a people thing. I think he's bought in. I think we saw that towards the end of the season. I think he understands what he has to do. I never saw KAT in this game looking frustrated. No. And again, I said this as soon as the game was over. Get this.
Couple fouls.
Well, yeah. I mean, like when I say that, I mean, of course, you get frustrated in the game. You don't get a call, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, frustrated in the process of the way things were going.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to give him credit for what grade was somebody gave him an F on Twitter in the first half. That was ridiculous.
B+.
No, I'm talking about in the first half. I said like C-, right? C minus.
C minus, I think it was. Yeah.
He then upped the level of his game. He did what he had to do. We can't be hypocrites. We laud athletes for having their best game in the biggest moments when it matters the most. It's game 1. I'm not saying this is game 7, but it's a playoff game, and he stepped up and he adjusted to the game as it was going. He had 4 turnovers in the first half and 1 in the second half. The man did what he had to do. We gave him a B+.
Mission accomplished, man.
We gave him a B+. You get an A+.
Okay.
2-0. Now everybody get an A+. You know what I'm saying? 2-0. 2 playoff games, 2 wins. that's our guy, J Ellis. Follow him, Knick Of Time Show. Check them out. They're doing a good job. Shout out to everybody at Knick Of Time Show.
Shout
out to Lee.
Shout out to Lee. Shout out to Ryan G. Shout out to Ebony. All right. Shout out to B.
Yep.
Am I missing anybody? Shout out to Phil. Shout out to Al.
Shout out to everybody. We got to get B up here for a watch party. I've been texting her. She's been great. She came on the show twice this year. Gotta get Ebony too. Gotta get Ebony too. B's got to come. She's probably going to come in a Mikal Bridges jersey, which nobody else does. But she will come in a Mikal Bridges jersey.
Wait, you serious?
Yes.
Oh.
Brittany Rosas.
I don't know anybody with a Mikal Bridges jersey.
At least the time she's come on the show with me. She's been on 2 episodes of Got Game this year. The Mikal Bridges jersey. And it's up on with y'all all the time. The Mikal Bridges jersey is hanging right up there behind her. She's a Mikal fan. See? That's why we need Brittany here.
Yeah.
Brittany is a Mikal Bridges fan. We're gonna have to get Brittany Rosas.
That's
who's been a fantastic guest on the
I
show.
just want to see Brittany and Bryan interact.
How's that gonna go?
Great. I think it's fantastic. It's gonna be fellow Puerto Rican.
Oh shit.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, so you can't go that hard.
You're in trouble.
No. I understand in this hosting thing, sometimes you got to sit and just let it cook. You know what I mean? You just got to sit back and be like, that's going to go great. You guys will have fantastic conversation.
No.
I'm confident about it. This is nothing bad. You don't need to be
it's not nothing bad.
We're not setting you up for failure.
Brittany, I hope you see this. And Dexter will be inviting you very soon.
Yeah, we've already talked about it. We were supposed to do something at the end of the year, but then unfortunately I had to have my surgery. And so she was going to do the Hornets game. But we weren't able to do that, so that didn't happen.
The Hornets.
Yeah, I had surgery, so it just didn't work out. But Brittany, who's fantastic, yes, very passionate. We love her energy. Huge Mikal Bridges fan.
Yeah, I just wanted to see your face when she starts expressing it. That's where it really went.
Yeah.
I feel like Bryan is expecting something bad, and it's not.
It's not
no,
at all.
No, I have more of an assumption, but I'll ask. I'll ask her.
Fair enough.
Oh, I want to know now.
Fair enough.
I'll ask her.
Brittany was fantastic on the 2 episodes. She joined me this year, so I have nothing but love. Although I don't know if we've had anybody sit in this chair that's a Mikal Bridges fan. I think that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Most people have been very critical. Brittany, I don't know. She might punch me if I'm critical of Mikal Bridges. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. She's not going to punch me.
We do punch people, though. It's one of our things.
It'll be good. But hey, that's going to do it. Good win for the Knicks, 113-102 in Game 1. The fans should be pretty happy. Game 2 is Monday night. We will be here in studio Monday night. Our guest for Game 2 will be the wonderful Doug Burns, a.k.a. Doug Lust.
He confirmed.
He confirmed. He's coming. He's joining us in studio. He's going to rock with us. It's always a good time with Doug.
Yes.
And then we'll get him out of here so he can do his Knicks recap. So he'll be joining us in studio. We'll have a lot of great guests. What are you guys doing through the playoffs? Anything you guys want to plug? You guys doing your post-game shows, everything?
Yeah, we're just doing the post-game shows. So, we're going to do it after every game. They might still be going. I don't know.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Yeah, check out Knick Of Time Show. Mm-hmm. They always do a great job. J Ellis, Brittany, Ebony, Lee, Ryan G, the whole crew always does a great job. I gotta hop on with you guys soon.
Facts. So maybe like some in between after we win the series.
The series?
Yeah.
You know,
they'll have time if they win in 5. You'll have time
exactly.
Or the prediction I wasn't gonna do, they might win in 4.
Ooh.
I didn't make it. I'm just saying they might.
I hope not.
But yeah, man.
Why? You don't like sleeps? You don't like brooms? Fair.
Yeah. Shout out to Knicks Nightcap too.
Fair point.
Phil and shout out to the new show Knicks Life Crisis. Building it out.
Knicks Life Crisis? Oh, yeah. Shout out to Phil, Knicks Nightcap. Shout out to Phil. Phil texted me the other day. Shout out to him.
Al, Knicks Life Crisis. And I got so many people on KOT. The names are escaping me. It's not because I don't love you. It's just I bet.
Sometimes it's all right.
Right. No, I hear you.
Shout out to the KOT crew. J Ellis, man. I appreciate you coming through, brother.
All right.
It was great to have you here. You were one of the very few people I think that could sit up here. I don't know if there's even another one that's 2-0. So, yeah, you got some good vibes. The good luck is there. Shout out to everybody for staying in tune with us, watching us. Also got to thank our people behind the scenes, Sam and Tona, doing a fantastic job technical directing on a great day. and also producer Tommy Hogan doing as well, editor Eduardo Guerrero as well, and the whole crew behind us. We appreciate everybody. We're going to take a break. We're going to have another episode of New York Got Game that will be dropping tomorrow for you. It'll be a good conversation with a special guest. That should be fun. And then Bryan and I are back here on Monday night for Game 2. We'll see how that all goes. For J Ellis, my guy Bryan Fonseca, I'm Dexter Henry. We'll catch you next time on another edition of New York Got Game. Peace.
And thanks for watching New York Got Game. Boom shakalaka.